Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Vinland Saga. Last time around we had Dark Clouds, where basically the old master, Sverkel, he's not doing too well. He basically collapsed on his farm and basically he can't do much anymore. His body is starting to shut down and they're thinking he doesn't have much longer to live. Then Arnade's husband, that we didn't know about, escaped from his slavery and has made it to Ketil's farm looking for Arnade. So there are some conflicts there. And yeah, that's pretty much where we left off, with Snake going to get his sword because he's trying to capture this guy and get the reward for him. And Einar and Thorfinn just kind of getting dragged into the middle, which par for the course for Thorfinn is just kind of getting caught up in something that he shouldn't probably be caught up in. But yeah. But that's pretty much where we left off. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Vinland Saga. Here we go. Hello and welcome to another episode of Alex Sits There and Says, Oh, my God. What a conundrum. What a conundrum. It is quite the quandary. Do you sit back and do nothing, or do you go and do something? Either way, it could leave scars. I mean, they could have been slaughtered for denying Ebb, you know? Their entire, village could have been wiped out. So, or they could have won. I mean, I don't even think there's really a lesson to take away, you know? I don't think this actually takes a stand in either direction. Should you do something or should you do nothing? If anything, I think this episode just shows either way, the storm's coming, you know? Whether you do something or not, that storm is coming. It'll blow through, it'll do the damage, and then it will leave, you know? What you do, that's dependent on you, but that storm will come, you know? And a storm is such a perfect analogy for it, you know? Because a storm is, it's not completely random. Obviously, there's weather patterns and prediction and everything, but with a storm, there is no set, day or time a storm will show up. Obviously you can make predictions. Obviously, we predict the weather, you know? We have weather forecasts, but, a storm will arise, you know? If you go and plan something outside, you know? If you plan, an outdoor wedding, there's a good chance that, you plan this months in advance. As you get closer, suddenly you're about a week off and you realize there's going to be a storm on that day. There was a chance it wouldn't happen, but there was a chance it would happen, you know? And so a storm honestly makes sense as the analogy. It's something that will show up kind of, when you can least expect it sometimes. It can sneak up on you, and it will come in, it will do the damage. There's nothing you can do about it. Everything in your life has to adjust according to it, and then it will leave. And then you pick up the pieces and you move on, you know? Just think about the fact that, we as humans have achieved flight. We have created machines that can fly all across the world. You can get anywhere in the world in 24 hours. That is how amazing we have come as a species. But you're going to be delayed if there's a storm. Like, a storm will stop that incredible machine dead in its tracks, you know? And I know this, I even know this firsthand, because, like, about 2 months ago, I flew out to Portland for a vacation, and in the Denver airport, we had to, like, sit on the track for, like, half an hour because we were waiting for a storm to blow over. So, and then it had mostly blown over, so we took off, but that created such ridiculous turbulence, and this was when I found out I hate flying. So I got very sick on that flight, and it was not a good time. Aside from the point. But that's what a storm does, you know? I mean, it's such an interesting thing when we think about nature, you know? Like, we as humans, like, look how much we have engineered our own environment, you know? I am sitting in a room, you know? I am sitting in a room of human creation, you know? With lit by human electricity. Granted, there's also sunlight coming from that window, but you know what I mean. I am curated human entertainment. I am given human air conditioning. We condition the air. And yet, again, a storm can come through, and especially here, I live in Oklahoma, so a storm could also mean a tornado, and all of this could be gone, but that's the thing. Or we'll make these brilliant, amazing cities. And an earthquake could happen, and that city could be gone, you know? Like, for as much as we talk about, as much as we talk about sometimes just how easily mankind can destroy itself, you also have to remember how easily nature can destroy itself. And, if anything, conflicts in mankind are part of nature, you know? Especially to those that are just caught up in it. I mean, look at Einar and Thorfinn. Do you realize they were unimportant to the story at large, you know? Einar and Thorfinn were literally just caught up in the middle of this, you know? But they were hit by that storm too, you know? And both in different ways too, because Einar is, so frustrated that he's not doing anything to help, you know? And Thorfinn, obviously he's frustrated too, but then the added frustration when he hears Arneid's backstory, you know, and here's like, we thought the men had come home, but no, it was Viking warriors. And you could just see in Thorfinn, he's like, motherfucker, damn, I used to be a part of that. I hate it. Like, you know? Like, that cuts to Thorfinn's core because that's what he used to be, you know? He knows that world all too well, you know? There was a part of me for like a split second that was like, oh my god, what if Thorfinn was there? But they never went to Sweden, so... They never went to Sweden, but I thought of it for a second. It's like, oh my god, what if Asklid was the one... It was Asklid's boys that came in and screwed them over, but no. They stayed in England with the one time they went over to France. Someone dropped some dishes or something. I don't know what's going on out there. I don't even know if that caught on the mic. If not, I sound like an idiot right now. Doesn't matter. And I mean, just like... Even just showing, the scars a storm will leave. It's like, just look at Garter. Look how absolutely different he is, you know? Like, he is a mess. He is so filled with hatred, you know? He's not the same. If anything, Snake was right. That, yeah, he's not the same Garter that you used to know. You know? But... And this is all still on top of the fact that Ketil is coming back with Leif, and Floki is coming, for Canute. It's like there are also 10 million other problems coming their way to the farm, you know? Oh, boy. So that's a problem, but just, ugh. And I mean, there's also just the whole thing of, with the story, what happened to Garter and Arneid. It's like, should he have gotten involved in that, you know? And there's a part of it where it's like, because he says, like, if we don't do this, this guy is going to get control of the iron. And that means he's going to be super powerful, But at the same time, it's like, okay, but is that your fight? Is that your fight? Because it doesn't really seem like it's your fight. Because she even says, like, we're in no need of iron, Like, sure, if they become iron merchants, I guess, they could become wealthy. But it's just like, I guess it's the question of, like, what do you need the wealth for? Like, you have a house, you have a village, you have food, you have a wife and son, you're healthy. Like, why do you need this? Why do you need this? Like, there's actually no inherent benefit, Like, are you doing this so that your son can go to, Sweden University, or the college, I don't know, the College of King Sweyn. That's not a thing. Colleges weren't a thing. So it's just like, you're not saving up for that. You don't have to save up for retirement or something. It's like, you literally don't need this. Like, you're in a good position right now. And you're basically going into the lion's den. But this brings up the next question, and she didn't really talk about this, but it's like, were they even warriors? Were they genuinely warriors? Now, granted, we've seen here that he's strong, and he is good, Now, granted, he's strong, he is somewhat skilled. I mean, he killed Lizard, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know if he's actually that skilled, because he couldn't beat Snake, Now, Snake might be, best of the best in terms of the fighters we've seen on this farm, but it's like, but still, it's like we don't know. Well, I mean, the closest we've seen is the brief encounter he had with Thorfinn, which Thorfinn was able to counter and hit, but he also blocked that. So I guess if we're going on, he's as skilled as Thorfinn, and Thorfinn was pretty good, I don't know. I don't want to try to, like, power scale all these characters, so this just clearly is not the show to be doing that, but that's part of it, is like, were you even a warrior? Was Garter even a warrior, Because it could just have been that he was strong. I mean, look at the boys. Look at the boys back in the village in Iceland. So long ago. But them, they might have been pretty good, but they were nothing compared to Askeladd's boys. Who were nothing compared to Thor's anyway. Now Thor's is a great exception in terms of warriors, but like. But that's the thing. It's like, Garter, were you even a warrior? Should you be doing this? And that's the question. And I like that with this episode. Honestly, it feels like there's not an answer. There's not an answer between should you or should you not do something. It really just is like, look, the storm will come. Because like, you can't do anything about the storm. You can't do anything about the storm. The best thing you can do with a storm is prepare yourself, is to make the best of the situation so that once it leaves, it's not, ruining everything, If there's going to be, if there's a storm, there might be hail. You pull your car into the garage so your cars don't get wrecked, You prepare for that. If you have a tornado shelter ready if you're in a tornado prone area like I am, you have your tornado shelter, you have preparations, you have the weather app, you listen to the news, you hear the weather forecast, you see how bad it's going to be. You have to make these preparations. If you just sit there as the storm passes, it's not exactly, a lot of things could happen. Your car could get totaled from the hail. Your roof could be destroyed from the hail, There could be all sorts of things. And yes, even with your preparations, a storm can take a huge toll, you know? There's only so much preparation you can have for, like, a tornado. But at least you're prepared. So that is the thing. It's like, either way, yes, there will be scars, you know? There will be scars left by a storm. But the question is, you know, what do you do? And I guess, honestly, the answer is you do the best that you can, you know? And right now, for Arnheid, that's going and seeing Garter one last time, you know? Even if she can't save him, you know? Even if she can't save him, she can't ignore him either. So... But that also brings up the question of what should they have done about the iron situation, you know? Should Garter have just left well enough alone? You know, should he have let that guy get his hands on it? But then, and the question is also, what should Sverkel have done, you know? What should he have done all those years ago? Should he have, you know, fought this whole thing, helped Ketil try to keep her, or should he have done exactly what he did, you know? Because, hey, yes, she died, and they lived, and that's an unfortunate thing, but they did survive. I don't know. The possibilities are endless. The possibilities are endless. So, as far as I see it, it's you make the most of what you can, you know? And you do what you think is right, you know? And, if anything, I'm going to bring up Attack on Titan, you live a life with no regrets. You take what happened, and there's no point in regretting it. You move forward. You live a life with no regrets. Even if there are things that you could regret, don't. You know? Having those regrets aren't going to help you at all. Complicated stuff, man. Complicated stuff. Every single episode of Vinland Saga, there's complicated stuff. But it's brilliant, and I friggin' love it. But that is basically it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Vinland Saga reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.